Viewers, hello and welcome to another edition of the National Debate. The February 2020 clashes in northeast Delhi were a seething cauldron of not just emotions but widespread arson, rampant disruptions, charred ruins and countless families destroyed forever. 5 years on, the deep wounds of the riots linger on, a reminder of the devastating consequences of that fateful day. The riots left 53 dead, including Head Constable Ratan Lal and Intelligence Bureau Officer Ankit Sharma, and over 500 people injured. Now, there are two versions, one of the Delhi police and the other of the accused in this case. The police, in an explosive affidavit, have claimed that riots were a pre-planned regime change operation aimed at destabilizing India and defaming it globally. On the other side, the accused in the Supreme Court have countered the charges, stating that there's no evidence linking them to violence. They've also denied conspiracy charges. But viewers, why is it important to get an answer to the February 2020 clashes? That's what we'll be debating today. Let me first introduce our panelists joining us here in the studio. R.P. Singh, National Spokesperson of the BJP. We also have Abhijit Iyer Mitra, Senior Fellow of the IPCS. Advocate Harsh Dayal, a political analyst, joining us. With us also here in the studio is Professor Bhuvan Bhaskar Joshi, Spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Professor Akhil Swami is a political analyst joining us, as is Nivyan Sharma, Spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party. Let's try and understand what really are the Delhi riots of 2020 all about. First, to give you some numbers in terms of what really transpired on ground, the fire that burned Delhi, this is the 2020 riots that we're talking about. Let's get you some more details about these 2020 riots that took place in terms of its own impact on ground. 53 deaths that took place as far as the riots were concerned, over 500 persons who were injured in these riots, 2,500 arrests that took place subsequently, over 750 FIRs that have been filed as far as this case is concerned, over 108 cops who were severely injured, head constable and IB officer who were killed in this entire series of riots that took place over several days in northeast Delhi. Now, what really are we looking at in terms of the charges that really the Delhi police is alleging in this entire case? Now, clearly, of course, the police have cited a regime change operation, several of those including bail being given to Sharjeel Imam, Umar Khalid. The first charge is that violence was part of a regime change operation. The second is that there was an aim to destabilize the country, is what the Delhi police has said. The third charge is that there was a premeditated conspiracy. Charge number 4, let's quickly bring that up on screen, a bid to portray CAA as an act of pogrom. Charge number 5, bid to portray CAA as an act of pogrom of Muslims. Also charge 6, CAA issue used as a radicalizing catalyst. Charge number 7, plot to strike at the heart of our sovereignty. Charge number 8 is that there was a conspiracy for a nationwide stir on CAA. Charge number 9, plot to instigate an armed rebellion. And charge number 10 is that there was a deliberate tactic to slow down the trial. This is what the Delhi police has said in its affidavit. Now, what have the accused said in their defense as far as the hearing in the Supreme Court is concerned? They have come out to say that he was in custody when the riots took place. This is the argument specifically of Sharjeel Imam. He's also said old speeches have been cited as incitement. They've also gone on to say, this is Umar Khalid who said that he was not in Delhi during the riots. Of course, this is an argument that he has given earlier as well. Only evidence cited is a speech. Now, this is, of course, the argument of Umar Khalid. Also says that he's only named in 1 out of 752 FIRs. Gulfisha Fatima's counters are that distortion of criminal justice system is taking place. Also going on to argue that kept in jail for 5 years without a trial. This is also one of the arguments against the prosecution that has been made repeatedly as to why these under trials have been kept in jail for so long. Let me quickly open this up to R.P. Singh. R.P. Singh, first question to you. It is bail which is the norm and jail which is the exception. That is the principle that is normally followed. Critics of this government say that these individuals have been jailed for far too long. And Umar Khalid in his defense says, I'm named in just 1 of the 700 odd FIRs. Why should I be in jail? Your response.
Madhav, it is the court to decide whether bail has to be given or not to be given, how serious the charges are, how serious the issue is. That's how. I will go through one of the remarks of the court justice in 2022, Justice Siddharth Mridul and Rajneesh Patnagar. I'll just read out just one para and you'll understand from that. Not just the intent of strike terror, but the likelihood to strike terror, not just the use of firearm, but the use of any means whatsoever nature, not just causing, but likely to cause not just death, but injuries to any person or person, loss or damages to or destruction of property. I mean, even if you plan to do something and that later on something happens because of that, you will be answerable for that. I mean, if you, Sharjil Imam said, let's cut out the chicken neck. हमको देश का टुकड़ा अलग कर देना चाहिए. We should do away with the northeast and let's at least block the chicken neck for some time, and so that the country will understand what do the CA mean. And all of this was created just for a reason. It was all premeditated, all created for a reason, to create a message to the world that there is unrest in the country, there is a problem in the country, and on a false premise that Muslims will be debarred from their citizenship. You will not be allowed to wear the skull cap. Amatullah Khan said you will not be allowed to wear the skull cap. So there's a complete game which has been planned by elements which are anti-India to destabilize country. And because they couldn't win elections against Prime Minister Modi, otherwise they can't win elections against Prime Minister Modi through votes. That's why destabilized country, something like which happened in Nepal and Bangladesh. So they keep experimenting this again and again in country. But now they have been caught and they've been exposed, and there are a lot of evidence on record. Let the court happen on the 3rd of November. You will come to know about the details of all what transpired.
I want Nivan to respond to that. It's an anti-India conspiracy. It is a fact that President Trump was here when the riots were taking place. There is also the speech of Sharjil Imam that is cited where he talks about, separating the chicken's neck and therefore the northeast from the rest of the country. All these are things that have international ramifications. How do you respond to these charges? Because there have been several controversial statements, and it happened even at the time when the Aam Aadmi Party was in power in Delhi.
Sir, we would like to say that whenever there is an election in the country, before the elections, BJP has something like this to present to the people. Because if you talk about last 20 years of their governance, if you talk about Bihar, if you talk about Delhi, if you talk about any state, they have nothing to tell to people. आज जनता ये जानती है कि देश में हिंदू मुस्लिम के नाम पे बांटने की बात हो रही है, देश में दंगों की बात हो रही है, तो जरूर कहीं ना कहीं चुनाव होगा. ये आज बीजेपी का एक पैटर्न है देश में.
ये बता दीजिए. बस आप छोड़िए, आप सबको
आज हम ये कह रहे हैं कि जब 2020 में दंगे हुए थे दिल्ली में, हमारी सरकार थी. आप रिजीम चेंज की बात कर रहे हैं. किसकी रिजीम चेंज से किसको फायदा होता है ऐसे दंगे करा के? आज सबके सामने है. आम आदमी पार्टी क्यों दंगे कराएगी? आम आदमी पार्टी तो सरकार में है. आम आदमी पार्टी क्यों लॉ एंड ऑर्डर खराब करेगी? वो तो सरकार में है. कौन लॉ एंड ऑर्डर खराब करके उस स्टेट को डिस्टेबलाइज करके चुनाव के वक्त पे उसका फायदा उठाना चाहेगा? आज ये देश का बच्चा समझता है.
ताहिर हुसैन तो आपकी पार्टी के थे.
नहीं है. ताहिर हुसैन इज नॉट इन आवर पार्टी. He was in jail.
When the riots happened, was he in your party?
He was in jail. And he got a ticket in Delhi elections. He got a ticket from BJP's B team MIM. And when he got the ticket, he got the bail.
Smartly बात को बदलने दो. Was he part of the
when he got the ticket from BJP's B team, he got a bail also.
No,
so it's not hidden from anyone in the country that these riots are orchestrated by BJP and nobody else. और दिल्ली के अंदर, I just want to conclude in 10 seconds. In Delhi, our leaders tell me one speech where they mentioned about riots, Hindu and Muslim. और आप उठा के देख लीजिए बीजेपी की वीडियोस. इनके एक नेता ने जो है वो राइट्स की, दंगों की, गोली मारो की बात करी इन लोगों ने, और आज वो लोग मंत्री बने बैठे, तो किसको फायदा हुआ?
No, but you can't run away from the fact that Tahir Hussain was your party's cooperator at the time that the riots took place.
I told you.
Asset packets were found. Later, what
party has never associated with any person who has anything to do with riots.
He was a member of your party, sir. He's a leader of your party.
If he was a member of party, he was removed also.
Okay, he was removed as a leader.
But when he got a ticket from MIM, why he got a bill? He was not getting it before.
Later he got bail after he got ticket from MIM. That's his charge. Respond.
Well, that court has to decide. We are not there to decide how to court decide on whether to give bail or not to give bail. But if you ask him whether Mutullah Khan is part of their party or not, he said skull cap पहनना बंद हो जाएगा, आपकी टोपी उठा के ले जाएंगे CA के चलते हुए. Let's ask question to each one of them. What's wrong with CA? Let's ask a basic question. What's wrong with CA? Do CA take away the citizenship of the Indians or any Indian Muslims? No. It's just for persecuted Hindus or Christians or Sikhs or Jainis or Buddhists in Pakistan, Afghanistan or Bangladesh who come to India. There is for granting citizenship to them. But a false propaganda was raised only for a vote bank politics, not only for vote bank politics, because they can't, as I said, they can't dislodge Prime Minister Modi otherwise, so try to do this.
Okay.
And especially when
International
give me
conspiracy,
a second.
international conspiracy to change the regime.
Give me another second, another second. Manish Shankar Aiyar in Pakistan said, this is the right time. Shaheen Bagh is a hope. This is Manish Shankar Aiyar said. Mrs. Sonia Gandhi from Ramlila Maidan on Saturday said, आर पार की लड़ाई करेंगे. And Sunday the लड़ाई happens. Who's answerable for that? She said from Ramlila Maidan, आर पार की लड़ाई हो जाए.
Professor Akhil Sami, would like to take that question? आर पार की लड़ाई going to Pakistan invoking Shaheen Bagh, is that correct in your view?
See, BJP gets excited when there is a accused who is a Muslim. Yesterday in Bihar, a JDU candidate who is supported by BJP in his alliance in NDA openly in daylight murder of a Yadav Mahasangh chairman Dulab Chand Yadav. And he claims, yes, I have killed him. And he will not be arrested.
Is there any proof that Anand Singh has done the murder?
He has said that I have, because they came.
Who has said? Where has he said?
He said.
No, sir. This is reports
you
which
say,
are leaking.
you say
I'm asking you. I'm asking you. No, please don't abuse the national platform.
Anand Singh has not killed.
No, has he claimed responsibility?
Yes.
Where has he claimed responsibility?
The grandson of Dulab Chand Yadav is saying very.
Grandson of the murderer is saying it.
Why
that is not
arrested?
Sir, that is not the same as yours.
Why he is not arrested?
You are claiming that
because he is a Bhumihar.
No, please, Professor Akhil Swami, it is not about any caste. It is not about any party. Please get your facts right. You are claiming that the victim's kin has claimed. That is very different from saying that the accused has admitted.
He has clearly said, he has stated, yes, Dulab Chand Yadav, the convoy came, they attacked my car, they attacked 4 or 5 cars, and the grandson of Dulab Chand Yadav says, because he belongs to a OBC caste, he was killed in daylight murder. Anand Singh is a known criminal,
so that
he was in jail
of the kin, sir. Please don't say that's admission of the accused.
So,
no, let us not.
No, of course, between criminals and
you have to differentiate between what the victim says and what the accused says. I hope that logic is clear. In criminal jurisprudence, is it the same thing? Please, no, there's a lawyer here. Please get, don't bring I am asking you a pure and simple question on referring to facts in a criminal case. Please do not confuse the facts and argue and bring in religion. This is not correct. Let a lawyer respond. Let a lawyer respond. Now, please respond to this.
Madhav, let me set the record straight. First of all, I want 3 uninterrupted minutes to put my facts forward. You know, first of all, इन्हें जाति दिख जाती है, religion नहीं दिखता. The moment it comes to जातिज in Hindus, ये उस पे हल्ला मचाने लग जाते हैं. ये विभीषण है इस देश के. विभीषण है इस देश के. मुसलमानों की बात ही नहीं है. यहाँ पे हिंदू मुसलमान की बात ही नहीं है. यहाँ पे उनकी बात है जो देश को बांटना चाहते हैं.
कौन है?
देश को
आनंद सिंह कौन है?
Anand Singh कौन है? Let me. This is about Delhi riots. This is not about.
He will not be arrested. I know he will not be arrested.
बिहार इलेक्शन की किसी को बात करनी है उसके लिए अलग डिबेट में इन्हें बुलाना चाहिए. This is about Delhi riots. Delhi riots का मैं आपको बताता हूं prosecution का evidence. First phase. In first phase, these people created, and I'm talking from the charge sheet and from the court orders that have been cited by the court. In first phase, these people created WhatsApp groups. That is December 2019. When this guy claims कि ये तो custody में था, ये कैसे कर सकता है, इसने कैसे किया, मैं बताता हूं. शर्जील इमाम, आपको मैं वो प्ले करके भी सुनाऊंगा. I'll show you the clip. The nation has already seen that clip wherein Sharjil Imam claims. What does he claim? कि chicken neck है, वहां पे मुसलमान बहुल इलाके हैं, काट दो, असम को देश से अलग कर दो, नॉर्थ ईस्ट को. These are his exact words. नॉर्थ ईस्ट और हिंदुस्तान को बिल्कुल अलग कर दो. These are his exact words. Wait sir, सोनम वांगचुक करने वाले, पहले बात सुनिए.
एंटी बुद्धिस्ट हैं, सोनम एंटी मुस्लिम हैं, एंटी क्रिश्चियन हैं, एंटी दलित हैं, एंटी ओबीसी हैं.
आप एंटी हिंदू हैं सर, मैं आपको क्लियर बता दूं.
मैं कैसे एंटी
आप बताइए ब्राह्मणवादी तो फिर आप हुए जिस चीज में. ठीक है, दिस इज अबाउट पीपल हु स्टैंड विद द नेशन एंड पीपल हु स्टैंड अगेंस्ट इट. बात यहां पे मुसलमानों की नहीं है, बात उनकी है जो चिकन नेक को अलग करना चाहते हैं, जो ये कहते हैं अपनी स्पीच में कि मुसलमानों को आगे आना चाहिए. 5 लाख भी आप इकट्ठा हो गए. दीज आर हिज एग्जैक्ट वर्ड्स. 5 लाख भी अगर आप इकट्ठा हो गए तो आप कांग्रेस के पीछे मत चलिए. यूजफुल इडियट्स में आपको बताता हूं, कन्हैया कुमार के पीछे मत चलिए, क्योंकि वो उनकी जो एलिजेंस है वो हिंदू इंडियन स्टेट से है. वो बस आके यहां पे भाषण देंगे, वो फोटो खिंचवाएंगे और आप अपने हाल पे ही रह जाओगे. आप हथियार उठाओ, आप 5 लाख इकट्ठे हो, आप क्या कहते हैं ट्रैक्स बंद करो कि अगर इंडियन आर्मी को जाना हो तो वो एयर से जाए और आप चिकन नेक को और नॉर्थ ईस्ट को हिंदुस्तान से अलग कर दो. These are his exact words, and if I'm wrong, anyone can correct me over here. Second thing, in the charge sheet and in the court order, the prosecution has clearly mentioned the first phase that started in December 2019. I'm reading the court documents over here. Initiation, formation and inclusion of WhatsApp groups such as Muslim students of JNU, MSJ, Delhi Protest Support Group, GMI Coordination Committee, Jamia Awareness Campaign Team, and students of Jamia. These groups were created on the behest of whom? Who were the admins of these groups? Who created these groups? Sharjeel Imam and Umar Khalid, the so-called victims. And let me tell you, मैं आगे की phases की बात करूंगा. Second phase, December 2019. Last cheese, Madhav.
Let's not spread this so much. Let's go point by point, please. Professor Bhuvan Bhaskar, simple question है. क्या आप शर्जील इमाम के स्टेटमेंट से सहमत हैं? When he says that I want to chop off chicken neck, when I want to cut off northeast, क्या ऐसे व्यक्ति को आप डिफेंड कर सकते हैं?
नहीं माधव जी, पहले तो हम समाजवादी लोग हैं और समाजवादी लोगों का मानना साफ है कि हम लोग धर्म, जाति और वर्ग की राजनीति नहीं करते हैं. और चूंकि देश को पता चल गया है कि अगर कहीं चुनाव है तो जरूर दंगों की बात होगी. सर मैं तो बिल्कुल आई नॉट डिस्टर्ब एनीवन बट
चलिए
मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं. लेकिन भारतीय जब दंगों की बात आ रही है और मुस्लिम लोगों की बात आ रही है तो समझ लीजिए देश में कहीं ना कहीं चुनाव चल रहा है. ये चुनाव की फेवरेट पिच है. हालांकि 300 किलो आरडीएक्स देश में कब आया, अभी तक निर्दोष जो हमारे जवान मरे थे उनका देश को अभी तक नहीं पता चल पाया है. और आपको पूछना चाहता हूं, आपने जो बहस चलाई आपने दिल्ली पर चलाई है. मैं पूछना चाहता हूं ये दिल्ली की पुलिस किसके अंतर्गत आती है? ये दंगे कैसे हो गए? भारतीय जनता पार्टी के अंतर्गत आती है, गृह मंत्रालय के अंतर्गत आती है, अमित शाह जी के अंतर्गत आती है. मैं पूछना चाहता हूं कि जब गृह मंत्रालय के अंतर्गत पुलिस आती है, इनका गुप्तचर विभाग आता है, आईबी आती है, इंटेलिजेंस आता है, तो मैं पूछना चाहता हूं ये कहीं ना कहीं और किसको फायदा होता है इससे? ये देश से. माधव जी आप कहीं ना कहीं, मैं कहूं ना कहूं, देश समझता है कि किसको इनसे फायदा होता है. इस तरह की फेवरेट पिच पे कोई खेलना चाहता है तो क्या भारतीय जनता पार्टी को खेलना चाहते हैं? क्योंकि चुनाव है बिहार का और बिहार का चुनाव है तो दिल्ली में मुस्लिमों को बदनाम करा जाए. मुस्लिमों और एक हिंदू मर गया, पूरे देश ने देखा, करेआम एक हिंदू मर गया, लेकिन हिंदू पार्टी के प्रवक्ता खामोश है. ओबीसी मर गया, लेकिन ये शांत है. जी
सिंपल सवाल पूछा मैंने जी. इन्होंने जो कहा शर्जील इमाम के स्टेटमेंट से आप सहमत है कि उसका जवाब नहीं?
मैंने बिल्कुल दे दिया, साफ दे दिया. समाजवाद क्या, मैंने आपको समाजवाद की परिभाषा दे दी.
समाजवाद की परिभाषा दी, आप उससे सहमत है कि नहीं सहमत है?
नहीं, हम लोग सहमत नहीं, सहमत है. हम लोग समाजवाद के सिद्धांत पर चलेंगे.
तो आप
समाजवाद
नहीं है?
समाजवाद किसी धर्म, जाति, किसी वर्ग के खिलाफ अगर कोई किसी प्रकार की
नॉर्थ ईस्ट को अलग करना चाहते हैं?
नॉर्थ ईस्ट की बात नहीं माधव जी, आप कैसे कर सकते हैं नॉर्थ ईस्ट की बात? देश को जलने को मजबूर कर दिया देश के प्रधानमंत्री ने. मणिपुर क्यों नहीं गए प्रधानमंत्री जी? देश ने देखा हमारी बेटी बहनों की, माताओं की इज्जत को लूटा गया.
जो शर्जील इमाम ने कहा है वो सही है?
नहीं, हम लोग उसके साथ क्यों खड़े होंगे? हम तो माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को करेंगे. हम लोग माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को देश के 140 करोड़ लोगों ने चुना है. हम लोग उनसे प्रश्न करेंगे कि क्यों मणिपुर नहीं गया? देश का अभिनंदन है मणिपुर, क्यों नहीं गए आप लोग वहां पर? ये पूछेंगे हम लोग, देश के निवासी, हम लोग सिटीजन, हम इस देश के, हम लोग प्रधानमंत्री से पूछेंगे.
Okay. Let me bring in Abhijit Iyer Mitra. Now, Abhijit Iyer Mitra, the arguments coming in from this side are twofold. One, what he has said, that this is the law and order is the subject of the Union Home Ministry, and therefore the Delhi Police, which comes under the Home Ministry, is responsible for it. They should have had the situation under control. IB, etc. are under them. That is point number one. And the other point that is being made is that there are double standards of the BJP, that when it comes to the BJP being, or its allies, perpetrating violence, they have a different yardstick. When BJP itself is to gain from talking about the violence perpetrated by others, there's a different yardstick. Respond to these 2 points.
So, 2 things. First, notice you asked him one question which he refused to condemn. Silence equals acquiescence. He wants to say Sharjeel Imam Zindabad, he doesn't say it, because there are consequences to saying it in public. But if he says मैं Sharjeel Imam का खंडन करता हूँ, his party will take disciplinary action against him. So he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. I sympathize with him. The second is this logic that because IB and RAW or whatever, CBI or whatever come under the government, therefore it was the government that got the riots done. This is like saying the Jews got the Holocaust done so that they could get Israel. This is the kind of victim shaming and perversion that the SP is very famous for. They victim shame rape victims, they victim shame victims of thugs and violent people like Mukhtar Ansari, and now they victim shame riot victims. It is their standard modus operandi. There is nothing new about this. We need to understand something very clearly about the so-called Delhi riots. Even when we say Delhi riots, we're doing a disservice. This was a year-long continuum that started with the Seelampur riots, which then continued with this tamasha, the beating up of students at Jamia Millia, when they tried to take it over and hijack it. Then they suddenly pretended to be very peaceful and did the protests at Shaheen Bagh. Even there, if you remember, my friend Gunja Singh, she was taken hostage by these people when she went to wearing a burqa to do reporting from within. They would only let people who came in there that they had approved of to record from within them. Otherwise, everybody else, she got beaten up. She got manhandled, she got her phones taken away, etc., etc. The police had to come rescue her. So much for that peaceful. All of this was leading up to the Jafrabad riots, which we call the Delhi riots, which was done very specifically to get Trump and therefore the international press's attention when he was visiting here. That is it. Case closed. Sharjeel Imam has to be in jail, whether you look at it from Indian law or the most liberal free speech laws which are in America. There is something called the Brandenburg Principle, which is what? Specific threat against a specific target. It isn't enough to say, oh, let's just kill them all off. No. Kill who off? Kill how? He said we need to do chakka jam, specific threat against a specific target, which is the Siliguri corridor, also known as the Chicken's Neck. By any stretch of the imagination, by any stretch of any international law, anywhere in the world, America or India, that man belongs in jail. And the fact that these guys have swallowed Fevicol and they can't bring themselves to condemn this tells you everything you need to know about them.
All right. One question, though, that I will, ask of...
Can I just add small point?
Quick, very quickly.
Pulwama, they keep raising Pulwama issue. 8 people have been arrested in Pulwama case. बताए नहीं ये.
जवाब दीजिए भोमराज जी, ये आपने उठाया था.
300 किलो आरडीएक्स कहां से आया?
क्या सुनते हैं?
300 किलो आरडीएक्स कहां से आया?
संजय इमाम मुद्दाबाद
ये ना संजय इमाम आरडीएक्स कहां से आया?
संजय इमाम आगे आते हैं.
अरे बताइए, आपने बताइए, इसको आप बताइए, ये कहां से आया? कहां से हो गया? बताने का काम करिए. बताइए मत, संजय इमाम मुर्दाबाद. जानता है संजय इमाम मुर्दाबाद होता है. संजय इमाम मुर्दाबाद. भारतीय जनता पार्टी में
Let us not do this. I have some specific questions related to the case. Let's not spread this debate because it's a very important case. Let us try and understand this case better. Let's give our viewers a better sense of understanding, legally speaking. Now, Nivan, you are a lawyer. I'm sure you have read the Delhi High Court judgment in this particular matter. This is what the Delhi High Court specifically stated, and you can come in on this. They have observed that the alleged inflammatory and provocative speeches delivered by the appellants, when considered in totality, prima facie indicates towards their role in the alleged conspiracy. Of course, the Supreme Court has to adjudicate on this. But they are saying that these speeches in the run-up, he says it's a continuum that led over several months. These speeches eventually led to the situations which sparked off the riots. That is the argument that the High Court has upheld. Your response
हम तो ये कह रहे हैं कि जो भी हमारे देश के खिलाफ कुछ भी बोलता है, आप उसको सजा दीजिए. हम तो वो पार्टी हैं, अरविंद केजरीवाल तो वो नेता जिसने अपने मंत्री को नहीं छोड़ा. अगर भ्रष्टाचार मिला तो उनको हटा दिया. हम तो ये कह रहे हैं कि आपका काम है उनको सजा दिलाना जिन्होंने गलत किया है. आपका काम है ये साबित करना कि इन्होंने ये गलत किया है. आपका काम है, इंटेलिजेंस आपके पास है, पुलिस आपके पास है, सीबीआई आपके पास है, देश की सारी एजेंसीज आपके पास है. दुनिया के ये तो बता दो, मेरी बारी में कोई नहीं बोलेगा. मुझे 30 सजा चाहिए. मुझे 30
अगर वो जेल में एक से माय काउंटर क्वेश्चन टू दैट इज सिंपली दिस. अगर वो जेल में है तो व्हाई ऑब्जेक्ट प्लीज. अगर वो जेल में है then what is the objection? Because the process of law is happening. You're a lawyer.
मैं तो आपको ये बता रहा हूं कि कोर्ट ने ये कहा है कि आपने एजेंसीज को केस्ड पैरेट बना दिया. कोर्ट ने ये कहा है. कोर्ट ने ये कहा है कि आप पीएमएलए जैसे एक्ट्स का दुरुपयोग कर रहे हैं. कोर्ट ने ये कहा है कि ये जब ये ट्रायल में जाएगा तो 2 मिनट नहीं टिकेगा. कोर्ट ने ये कहा है कि ये केस फैब्रिकेटेड है. कोर्ट ने ये कहा है कि स्टॉप प्लीजिंग योर पॉलिटिकल बॉसेस.
Delhi riots case? Calm down. क्या ये Delhi riots से related? Answer my question.
सुनने मेरे को 30 सेकंड देके कंप्लीट करने दीजिए, तभी समझ आएगा। ऐसे
काउंटर तो लेना पड़ेगा आपको।
हमारे देश में इन एजेंसीज की जिनकी जिम्मेदारी है ये प्रूफ करना, उनके लिए कोर्ट में ये कहा है।
दिल्ली पुलिस
क्या आप मुझे ये बताइए, दिल्ली पुलिस को 5 साल लग गए ये समझने में कि ये देश के खिलाफ था? 5 साल लग गए।
ओके।
क्या ये दिल्ली पुलिस का फेलियर नहीं है? क्या ये होम मिनिस्ट्री का फेलियर नहीं है कि एक फॉरेन जो हमारे देश में प्रेसिडेंट आए हुए हैं उनके रहते हुए इतना बड़ा राइट हो जाए दिल्ली में?